Hello folks, welcome to Legacy IAS. Today we meet in another current affair video. Today we are going to discuss a more of a deeply disturbing horror based case. Now when I say deeply disturbing horror based case, there is a lot of nuances or there is a lot of dimensions to this particular case. Okay, what one section of the society may call it as deeply disturbing. Okay, this is unacceptable behavior, and this is either way not prevalent now, but what once it was. Okay, that was a very different perspective, etc. So there is divided section, whereas the other section that will say no, it speaks about the sacrifice, it speaks about certain important cultures, etc. is what the other section would defend upon, right. So like I told, there is a lot of different dimensions to this particular case that we are going to talk about. Now what is this case that has garnered so much attention? And again, this is an old case, but again it's come into current affair of relevance because of the things that has happened, that is new changes that has happened with this particular case. Now enough case we have spoken about without knowing what that case is. So we will enter into the topic, that is the Roop Kanwar case. So like I told you, this is a pretty much old case that happened something in your 1987 September 4th. Now assume this narrative, transport yourself in the timeline. So this particular incident happens where a husband, wife, that is, to be more specific, man, women, they get married to each other. Within 9 months of marriage, within 9 months of marriage, the husband passes away. Yes, the husband passes away. At that point of time, the 18-year-old Roop Kanwar, the story who we are talking about. Now the versions that I am going to tell is of different accounts of people who saw this. Certain sections of the society, relatives, etc., tell that the wife looked at the husband, cried, and then immediately went ahead, started getting ready like a new bride, and then announced her decision that she is going to perform Sati. Now here is where the differences are. One section claims that what she decided to do, the Sati, that was completely voluntary. That was completely voluntary. It was her decision. People tried to stop, but she didn't listen. The other section claims that no, it was forceful. It was forceful. The villagers and the other family members forced her to do that. This is the versions. We are not sure exactly what happened, right? These are the versions that we listen. So what happened was, your police authorities were informed, but before they could arrive, all this had taken place. But one more main important thing was the way how they found out, that somewhere a red flag, it's not a small thing, right? Sati is not from 1829, Sati was banned with your great efforts of Rajaram Mohan Roy. At that point of time, it was William Bentinck because of the pressure from Rajaram Mohan Roy. In the Bengal pay, it was banned, 1829 pay. So from very beginning, that was considered a very inhumane act, right? Now what happened? This incident happens in 1987, free independent India. So this is a major red flag, yes. So what happened was, how did the authorities, this was happening somewhere in a sleepy village, how the authorities, okay, or how it got raised into this big of a public issue was, the authorities kept finding out there is, okay, a shortage of coconuts. Shortage of coconuts started happening. People started finding out why there is a shortage of coconuts. Then they started finding out, no, somewhere something is fishy. We have to find out why there is a shortage of coconuts. Then when seeing these people, okay, the bypassers had almost created like a shrine-like place, okay, of the act that was performed by Roop Kanwar, and started idolizing that particular place and started going and offering coconuts there, which created a, okay, this coconut shortage was what alerted the officials, public officials, into finding out there is somewhere a red flag, we have to now find out. Then this incident comes into light, okay, and then it spread out like a wildfire. Okay, this gave a lot of public attention, where certain people claimed, no, how can this happen in this day age, in age, whereas the other section went ahead and saying, no, we have to, okay, embrace the sacrifice, it is a very different thing, it is very deeply rooted, etc. All that versions. Post this incident, okay, is when your government, okay, and a law was legislated on your Sati prevention. Post this incident in 1987-88 period of time. Understanding? This is the narrow gist of what is the Roop Kanwar case. Understanding? Now let's get into the details about the particular article. The reason this came into the, I told you this is an old case, but it came, okay, into the news, it resurfaced in the current affairs because the Supreme Court again acquitted 10 members related to it. Okay. So because of that, this case made a re-entry. Now, where they have immortalized, okay, and they have built a sort of shrines. Now, this is directly taken from the Commission of Sati Prevention Act 1987, okay. This is directly taken from the act to show that what is the punishment for offences relating to sati, okay, where any attempt to commit sati or abetment to sati, okay, that is whether through brute force or through pressure, understanding, either through brute force or through any forms of pressure by either the family members or the society, yes, into committing sati and even glorification of sati. Now these kind of things, okay, building a shrine with either roof or without roof, construction of temples, shrines, okay, whichever speaks about glorifying the act of sati, etc., is not permitted, okay. There is a punishment for glorification of sati. Understanding? It also, the act also gives the power of, okay, to preventing the sati to your district collector. Understanding? Now, look at this. Power to prohibit certain acts, okay, any versions of sati. Power to remove certain temples and other structures, yes, and power to seize certain properties. Again, anything which glorifies sati, okay. Now, the younger generation, with respect to this Roop Kanwar case, we have also gotten reports where it is claimed that in present day age in time it is not possible for a recurrence of sati, but We do know, we are aware of this particular story, and many a people even today visit that place. Okay, many a people still go try to take blessings, offerings, etc. Okay, so any version, okay, of glorification of Sati, any kind of shrines, okay, be it an open structure or a closed structure, open or closed structures, okay, is strictly considered, okay, a punishable offence. Understanding? Now, the act also specifies, okay, the definition states that burning or burying alive of widows or women is revolting to the feelings of human nature. Okay, two things you have to know: Sati, either burning or burying an alive woman, okay, or a widow. It is against the human nature and is nowhere enjoined by any of the religions of India as an imperative duty. This is a very, very important aspect. They claim that in nowhere any form of religions is it mentioned it is a matter of duty that a wife should perform, okay, as a matter of duty for her husband or her family's in-laws, etc., any of those things. Understanding? If at all, if they suggest that or they force her to do that willingly or unwillingly, that will amount to abetment of Sati. Understanding? It is necessary to take more effective measures, okay, look at this, very, very important, to prevent Sati and its glorification. Okay, all these amounts to glorification. People can say it is their respective beliefs, why can't they have their belief system? Yes, your belief system, no one is trying to interfere, but at the same point of time your belief system should not be about glorifying Sati, which sets a bad example. Understanding? Now, the meaning of Sati as specified, okay, by the act, like we discussed, burning or burying alive of any widow alongside deceased husband or any other relative with any article, object or thing associated with the husband or any such relative. Understanding? Now, this is very important. See, any woman along with the body of any of her relatives, irrespective of whether such burning or burying is claimed to be voluntary on the part of the widow or woman or otherwise, is also, okay, the same thing. This is what contributed to your Roop Kanwar case, right, where people said, no, how can you arrest us for just surrounding and watching it? We didn't tell her to go do it, she did it on voluntary basis. No, even if you are instigating, even if it is claimed to be voluntary, no, Sati is prevented. Okay, this is not a matter of right. Understanding? This is not a matter of right. To be speaking, it is my wish, I will do whatever I want. Okay, this is not a matter of right, even if it is voluntary, no. What is the punishment for glorification of Sati? It will be, again, for glorification of Sati also there is a punishment. What is it? Imprisonment, not less than 1 year but may even extend up to 7 years. Fine which is not less than 5,000 rupees but may also be extendable up to 30,000 rupees. Earliest records of Sati that we have found is in an Iran pillar, okay, inscription which is found in the Madhya Pradesh region. Okay. Now, we have kept speaking about Sati in a subsequently enough manner. Yes. Now, if you see, wide prevalence we see is during your period of 1800s, 1700s, etc. Yes. Now, one of the largely efforts taken by, okay, our Indian social reformer, that is your Raja Ram Mohan Roy. Okay. He took and he pressurized the British into passing a legislation which was for the ban of Sati. Okay, at that point of time, okay, the British person very much associated with the banning of sati is a William Bentinck. Okay, and throughout the history we see people who took steps to eradicate sati. During the Mughal Empire period, it was Emperor Akbar, who took a stance against forced sati. Then during a Sikh Empire, Guru Amar Das also denounced sati. Maratha Empire also, sati was banned in Maratha controlled areas. One of the champion pioneers who was very much fighting for the banning of sati is your Raja Ram Mohan Roy. The Dutch, Portuguese, French, etc. all had banned the satis within their colonies. Bengal Sati Regulation Act of 1829 by William Bentinck made a significant legal reform in banning sati in that particular region. Irrespective of the fact whether it is voluntary or forced, still sati is something which has to be prevented, and it is also punishable. Understanding? Clear up until here? Now, by this we have come to the end of the current affairs. If you do like our content, subscribe to our channel, hit the like button, share it along with your friends. This is brought to you by your faculty, Sushma ma'am. Thank you guys.